What's going on, guys? This is Kaisher. Welcome back. So we are back with another video. So for our video today, we are going to cover a fresh new format that is waiting for us. We do have the Terminal World 03 early topping deck list for our video today. So we are going to cover the early topping deck list across major regions in Japan, South Korea, China, and Taiwan after the new introduced Terminal World 03 that carries over from the previous Terminal World and Dual Terminal archetypes, and it was supported just recently, yesterday. And it's going to be very exciting because we are going to see a bunch of new decks and a bunch of new builds that is going to either dominate or reshape our metagame right now. So moving forward, we do have Marineford TCG tournament in Korea. You do have Radiant Typhoon or Radiant Storm, whatever you call the deck right now. It's going to be a very strong weekend and weekday for the Radiant Storm or the Radiant Typhoon. It got a lot of tops recently, and even in the past 2 weeks, it was able to top a lot of tournaments and big tournaments at that. No, it was able to top Next Play CS and Marineford TCG and Zeus, a bunch of big tournaments and big local events in South Korea and Japan. So looking on our decklist here, it is running the Condemned Witch package, which is going to utilize the Forbidden Crown and the Forbidden Droplet furthermore. Next, we do have another Radiant Typhoon. So this time it is playing 3 Lava Golem, quite different from the usual Sphere mode on 3 copies on the side deck. But yeah, Lava Golem still makes sense to me. I think it is a good alternative for this Sphere mode, especially if your locals are not really combo oriented. Next, we do have 1923 CS. We do have another Radiant Typhoon here. So, like I have said earlier, it is able to top a lot of big events like 1923 CS. It is a very popular local scene in Japan, no? So, rather Korea. So, I think it was able to maintain their momentum from the past month. Because the tail end of the October, it was able to top like tier 4, tier D status on the tier list, and it just went up from that point. Next, we have another Malice. So, Malice with double Red Sea and DDG on the side deck. It was very strong against the Yami matchup and Mitsurugi. Next, we have K9. Only running double of the rank 5 Pendulum. I think, rather level 5 Pendulum. I think it's the correct way to do so. You don't really see K9 topping deck list running 3 of these anymore. And moving on next, we do have another 1923 CS 3v3 event. We do have K9, this time on 3 copies of Disia Blaster, and running the Fallen the Virtuous Quick Play on the main deck. Next, we do have Branded, 44 card this time. Opted to play Falls in the main deck. You don't really see that much often. People are settling for Maxi and Ash only, but this pilot opted to play 3 Falls on the main deck with 1 talent as well. Next, we have another Malice. Pretty standard, apart from running Lightning Storm on the side deck, which is another alternative to play if you're already running HFD and Heavy Storm, which are also used a lot this format. Next, we do have another Radiant Typhoon. Running 1 Typhon on the extra deck would make a lot of sense, particularly if your deck didn't draw the Fallen Virtues and the Forbidden Droplet going second and your MSTs, no. You could probably find yourself longing for a card that may probably stop the high attack monsters on the opponent's board, like Savage, for example, against Yami. Next, we have Dracotail Finsmith, triple Cartesia, and the usual Engraver package. And running double Urgula and double Pan. Next, we have Ragnaraka or Raika in Japan. It is running Ragnaraka with some copies of the Rika. Yeah, Rika's and Avalon cards. Running 1 of Lone Fire Blossom. Most of the time, you would see 2 copies of Lone Fire, but this pilot opted to play only 1. Next, now we get towards the interesting part. We are going to see topping deck list of Shaddoll, and this is probably the most hype archetype from the Terminal World 03 and it was able to top a lot of tournaments across advanced format tournaments and pre-release events. So this deck is probably one of the decks to look out for after the Terminal World 03. Not only that they are more competent now, they're able to turbo out win damage more fluidly, and you could probably see iterations of the deck running Dracotail and Magistus right now. Like we are seeing here, it is running Magistus with a spoon. Next, we have another Malice. So, triple Lancea just to respect the mirror match and one of Judgment on the side deck. Next, we have Rescue Ace with Sinful Spoils and Finsmith, your standard Rescue Ace, just paired with the new supports. Next, we have Branded, 44 card. I think this is the same list as earlier, running double Solemn Warning on the side deck. Next, we do have Ryuge. So, Ryuge, another very solid deck across South Korea and Japan. Particularly in South Korea, it is a very, very strong contender on being a tier deck in South Korean tier list. And I couldn't really blame them because this deck is very solid at score. I was able to floodgate the opponent, shutting down the graveyard, and being able to be a nuisance with the Inspector Border on their board. Next, we do have Dark Magician with some interesting stuff going on, Shining Sarcophagus and running Invoke, very small Invoke package. Next, we do have another K9 running one of Tubel on the main deck. And yeah, running Mind Drain as well. Next, we do have Yummy, triple Imperm, triple Dominus Purge. I think people are now convinced that Imperm are valuable. Once again, there's a point where people are not even playing Imperms anymore. They're just playing Purge and the usual Droplet and the Foalas, no? And even Ibiro on the main deck. But Imperm probably still has a usage right now. Next, we have Mitsurugi Pure version. I think it is a standard right now that you're going to play Extrava and Prosperity on the main deck. You don't really see much people running without the 1. I think it always being played at 2. And running Tornado Dragon, just another way to out the floodgates and the back row that your opponent has on the game 2 to 3. Next, we have Exorcister. So, very standard Exorcister here, but opted to play the 7th Takyun. And Graveskeeper's Inscription, oh my goodness, very strong card against the format right now. Against Yami and Mitsurugi, it is FTK at this point. Next, we do have Monko Shoal K9 with Mitsurugi. Wow, this is pretty interesting. It went top 8 on Korean tournament, HSCS 3v3. And next, we do have Dracotail Magistus with branded package, triple Nib, double Foalas on the main deck, and one Typhon on the side deck. Quite prevalent to see more and more of Typhon. Very strong against the Mirror Jade, into the Savage, and other high attack monsters, no, with at least 3k attack stat point. Next, we do have another Dracotail. So far, Dracotail has been the more prominent deck out of the 3, the Mitsurugi, Yami, and Dracotail. I think Dracotail has been like the perennial tier 1 best deck on the past week. Yeah, probably week. I think the numbers are just going to showcase a lot of promise for Dracotail, but it also comes towards a fact that it might get hit on the upcoming ban list this coming December. Yeah, maybe 5 mana will go into 1. Who knows? Next, we do have Sun CS, dual sa lang tayo in Japan. We do have Malice here, double Super Poly in the main deck. Next, we do have Sky Striker running a pointer of Red Lotus. So why not? You're already running Trust, so might as well play the best card that can eradicate the threats on your back row. And next, we have Elven Notes with Finsmith, and also running triple Bestial on the main deck, double Baldrake and the Magnamut and Druid's Worm. Next, we do have K9 Crystron. Wow, it's been a while since I last saw K9 Crystron. Definitely one of the best decks on the past month or 2 months or so. But sadly, it's not enough against this metagame right now, especially where branded are just so obnoxiously strong. Next we do have Sky Striker once again, double Meowls, okay, quite understandable. And double Rosie as well on the main deck. Next we do have Sword Soul, branded. And yeah, it is running the Spellcaster of the Village. Village of the Spellcaster rather, just to eradicate spell cards. Next we do have Shaddoll, Dracotail. Wow. So this time it opted to play more of the draw power engine cards with the Flawless Purlia and Meowls. And they didn't opt to play the more extenders, the fusion deployment and other stuff. And even the Rahu is not even played here. It's only Ketu with the 5/5 mana. Next we do have Dracotail once again. Pretty standard. Yeah, standard main deck. And running Phantasme on the side deck, which is valuable against Malice and Yummy. Next we do have Lunalight. Double Foolish Burial Goods on it and triple Tenki. Next we do have Sky Striker. Running Albaz package on it and one Raigeki on the side deck. Next we do have another Dracotail. This time with one Druid's Worm on the side deck. Didn't have to play the 2 Bestial duo on the main deck. Next, we do have Teller Knight went X1. Quite good result so far. So, there's not really a huge amount of representation of Teller Knights on the advanced formats and pre-release tournaments. Maybe because the deck still lacks that X factor, no, that defining factor that you just close out games easily. But right now the deck has potential. It has turn skip. It's kinda consistent now with more new supports. So yeah, we'll see whether this deck can adapt or find a sounding deck list, no, that may be able to make the deck into tiered status. Next to the Dracotail with red reboot on the side deck and double called by. I think it's been the norm recently where called by are just played on the side deck for Dracotail. Next we do have Kuroneko CS in Japan. We do have Sky Striker, double Desires, triple Upstart just to ramp up the consistency of an already consistent Sky Striker. Next we do have Yummy. So running Ghost Mourner, I think Ghost Mourner has been a pivotal card towards the tail end of the November. It saw some huge play on Southeast Asian regions and now it is being played on even the major regions. Next we do have Mitsurugi, pure version. Double Phantasme on the side deck. Next we do have Sky Striker. Pretty standard. Next we do have branded Dracotail. Yeah, branded. Oh, without Dracotail, yeah. It's just branded 53 card version. Running Sea Mule Archfiend on the side deck. Next we do have Mitsurugi. Yeah, one of Nib on the main deck and one D-Shifter. Kinda odd to see Nib and Shifter on one copy. Next we do have another Malice. Still running the Super Poly. I think Malice players are pivoting towards Super Poly because it is much more efficient against the mirror match and the Yummy matchup. Next we do have another X-Sister, triple Forbidden Crown on the main deck. Oh, it is running triple Aratama. Wow. Quite numerous amount of starters here. Next we do have Sky Striker running the Hump on the side deck. Next we do have Dragunity. Wow, champion deck list. 3-0 Dragunity. Triple Phalanx and double Dragon Revine. Only 2 Imperm and still played goodness, of course. You should play cross out here. 1 Maxi, 1 Flawless could be the end of you. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. Good start though for Dragunity. Never thought that this deck would top. But yeah, it saw some numbers. Next to the Odayan Primate. 1 Border on the side deck. And triple Dark Imprisoning Mirror, which is a very solid card against the Mitsurugi. And potentially Malice as well, no? Next we have Archmage. so far. We are not seeing a lot of art mage recently, mainly to the fact that the deck was not really enough in terms of firepower and ceiling to contend against the likes of Elven Nodes, for example. No, those are just ridiculous amount of resources from just one card. But the art mage definitely, I think, still has a lot of rooms to offer in this metagame. As long as you're playing the correct going second cards, you're able to contend with the format right now. And it went, yeah, 4-2. Not bad, yeah. Good result for Archmage. Next, we do have Dracotail, double Nib on the main deck. And one Super Poly, wow. Only one Super Poly and only one Super Poly in the main deck and one Super Poly on the side deck. Next, we do have Radiant Typhoon. Once again, triple sphere mode, the more standard approach. Next, we do have Sky Striker, triple droplet on the main deck and double Nib. And next, we do have Yami. Yeah, Yami Finsmith. I think Finsmith just offers versatility and also extension towards your standard Yami line. And the downside is you're not able to play the Savage and those other stuff like the Nemesis Protoss, not rather Nemesis Luck going into the Thunder Dragon Colossus. But I think Finsmith is just a better variant of that. Next, we have another X-Sister. Still playing cross out, no? Just to respect the Falls and Ash Blossom, Ash on Marta are just so humongous. I think you should always avoid that to happen if you're playing X-Sister. And next, we have another X-Sister here, running one Armament, which is kinda odd. I don't really fancy playing Armament anymore. I play X-Sister on some events and, yeah, locals, and I don't see myself running Armament anymore. Next, we have Yami. Yeah, with Hornet Drones. Only one Hornet Drones and one Piris Race map just to boost the consistency and triple talent as well. Kinda interesting but very logical given the fact that Dracotail and Branded are just so popular right now, and we still see a bunch of iterations of the K9 vs K9 and other stuff like Cool Tuno that might be able to play turn 0 or do something on your turn. And of course, the Hunt Trap format of OCG, of course, are always going to be going to matter on this shape of metagame. And of course, talent on 3 might be a very interesting take, but I would take it above like Forbidden Crown, no, on this deck list particularly. Next, we have another Mitsurugi, triple impulse. Of course, the pure Mitsu are just able to play the triple impulse. And double Dynamondo, double IP Mascarena for grind game purposes probably. And next, we have another Yami, triple Dark Ruler No More. Probably the best going second negate card right now apart from Droplet. If you don't have the means to play Droplet, if you cannot afford the card, your deck doesn't suit into Droplets, into Forbidden Crown, as well as Forbidden Crown. Obviously, the card is like, yeah, $5, rather 10, yeah, $10 right now, or even more than that, 13, $12 a piece. And yeah, Forbidden Droplet is your budget option. The card is just dirt cheap right now. And next, we do have Cyber Dragon K9. Yeah, with Tyrion Regulus. Another deck that refuses to die. It was able to steal top tournaments in Korea and Japan. But I don't see this deck anymore on China and Taiwan. But yeah, I think this deck still has some good redeeming qualities. The fact that this is like your better 10-5 dragon. This can go second efficiently with the Cyber Dragon. Of course, Chimera Tech and the this fusion, the level 5. It was able to OTK for crazy amounts of damage. And next, we do have Mechanico. Of course, there's not a metagame report without Mechanico. It just feels not complete, no, when we don't see Mechanico. It just had to be there. Yeah, this is just a crazy deck. I think Mechanico definitely have proven that they might be a top tier rogue deck and even tier D status type of deck now. They are contending with Voices Voice and Buster Blader, and I'm very sorry guys because I wasn't able to upload the Buster Blader and Voices Voice tapping deck list because it was really beneath my previous metagame reports and tournament data gathering, so I wasn't able to showcase those decks. But I might be able to make a top 5 rogue decks video and probably include the Voice Dogmatica and the Buster Blader Dogmatica on our rogue decks edition. Next we do have Shaddoll, of course. Shaddoll with Mathematician. And Mathematician, one of copy, kind of interesting on the previous advanced format tournaments results. It is being played at 2 and sometimes even 3, no? But yeah, with Cartesia, you're able to utilize the card furthermore. And Mathematician, another one card starter for Shaddoll. Arguably, and double fusion deployment. This is what I hope to see because I have seen a lot of Shaddoll tapping deck lists on advanced formats where it is running fusion deployment on 2 copies as well. No, I think 2 is just enough already. You don't need the third one. I think the deck is plenty consistent enough going first. And going second, you just have Shaddoll Fusion and El Shaddoll Fusion. Thus, so much work going second. Of course, going to Construct. And you probably end your board as well with one Construct and the Winda. And moving on next, we do have another Shaddoll, of course. Triple Nib on the main deck, so why not? You want to see more and more of light monsters, light attribute monsters on your main deck. Things like Veiler, Gamma, Nibiru, those are your go-to outlets where you wanna fuse, and also sometimes Earth monsters, no? Because you also have some inclusions of Earth monsters on your fusion card, so Bell could make a lot of sense as well. And next we do have Elven Notes with Centurion. Yeah, I never thought that this deck could work, but it definitely worked. Went 4-1, yeah, 4-1 on Korean tournament. Running 1 Terraforming and 1 Synchro Rumble as well. Of course, you're running the Crimson Dragon. Next we do have DDD, our last report for our video today. We are seeing DDD. So DDD is a deck that is not consistent. Yeah. Some weeks they look like a tier B type of deck, no? That's not hyperbole. Tier B sometimes are just what DDD looks like. But on some weeks they don't even top or they look so rubbish, no? They don't really top tournaments. They just cling on some local events, small events. But yeah, I would take my word for that because DDD, as we all know, this is a very complex deck. And I think complexity of this deck rewards more the pilot. The more that they understand the deck, the more that they can outmaneuver their opponents and outthink with their combo lines. Now, it was able to do a lot of damage on the opponents. And of course, if you don't know how to untrap this deck properly, you would also lose a lot of mind games between the games. Now, and I think this deck, as long as you play triple draw and triple impulse, you're good to go. You don't really need to play the old version of DDD where it just runs like 99 extenders, no, and just Ash and Maxi and Cold Buy, no. But now you have more outlets to play draw and impulse, and probably even Flawless on the main deck. So yeah, that sums up our OCG metagame report and deck list reviews post Terminal World 03. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what are your thoughts after the new set of Terminal World and how it will impact our metagame moving forward. So yeah, that sums up our video today. If you found this video informative or helpful, please do consider subscribing. It definitely motivates me a lot to keep providing this content for you guys. So once again, thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.